What is up, everyone? This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we got a champion chase tournament in-house. We have the event that will give you the soul for Titus, right? I think most likely I won't get mine. Probably some of you guys, of course, will try to get it. Keep in mind, you need a limit of 4,000 points to achieve it. Now, my bracket doesn't look that great because this is pretty early on. 4,200 points. I'm convinced that by tomorrow or the day after, we're going to see them all going crazy. Either way, I'm going to keep an eye on it, just in case if I change my mind. I do have a few champions that I could summon from the fragment events and stuff like that. So those can give me some points. A good part is that you're getting the fragments at 1,500 points, which is actually much better than usually, because sometimes it's 2,500, 3,000, sometimes it goes even higher. So I'm gonna definitely try to get these fragments because most likely I'm going to attempt to skip either the dungeon divers or some different type of event, because it's much better to get these done. The effort is definitely less. Now, I'm gonna show you basically what is my plan to get the fragments. What I'm going to do, I saved my prism crystal summon for today, which automatically opened itself. If you guys don't have it yet, if you haven't noticed it, just click on the inbox right here and you should find the champion. I've already collected mine. I got an epic, so that is 250 points. Now, the next thing that I would strongly recommend you to do right now is basically go to fragment champions and summon your epics. If you have 2, if you have 3, summon them now, because this will give you 350 points each in the champ chase. Now, unfortunately, at the moment, I only have 2. But once I'm going to collect the other 25 fragments, I'm going to be able to summon another one, and just like that, I'm getting 1,050 points for using the epics that I need to build anyway, right? So there we go. I do have 3 legendaries, which is, 1,500 points if I decide to summon those champions. I do have the capability to actually make a Rally Keeper, and I could make a Broadma as well. I can just get a couple of commons and get a job done, right? Or uncommons, sorry. If we're going to go to summons, I have 1 Void Shard and a Dream. I'm not going to open my ancients. That's one of the main things why I'm not going for the soul. I kind of like want to keep that mercy intact. Probably in 10-20 summons on ancients I should be getting a legendary, so I really don't want to risk it. I have 3 primal shards. We're gonna get a mythical right here, and then GG's. We're scoring tons of points. We're absolutely wrecking that bracket. Hell, maybe we're gonna get 2 mythicals, not 1, or maybe we're gonna get none. Either way, we got an epic. That's 250 more points from there. As expected, a couple of rares. Now, we have a 2x on Sacred Shards, guys. And we have, of course, a 10x. I opened 9 or 10 Sacred Shards without a legendary. The Mercy is not kicking in just yet. But maybe, just maybe, we are going to make it happen. Can we get the legendary on the 10x? We can get a legendary, but not the legendary on the 10x. I had a feeling that this was going to drop me a legendary because, as I've mentioned, I opened 9 or 10 without a legendary before. I went like 30 in, like, come on, game, give me a break, right? Skartorsis, not a bad champion, not an OP champion either. I do like to use mine in Faction Wars, sometimes in Curse City. What I do like about him, because they did buff him a while ago, right? You have a speed aura, but it's only for dungeons, unfortunately. You have this AoE attack, which works great either on a stun set or a different set, and has a chance to steal a random buff from each enemy. This one, on a 3-turn cooldown, will place an increased attack and an increased crit rate buff on all allies. And this skill, shame that is on a 4-turn cooldown, removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals them and fills their thermeter. The amount by which each ally is healed increases according to the number of debuffs removed from them. The amount by which each ally's thermeter is filled increases according to the number of debuffs removed from them. So, I think he would be much better, considering that this skill is on a 4-turn cooldown. if he would bring in immunity too. That would really make this champion really, really good, right? Like, you have tons and tons of utility out of the champion. Not having that immunity is what makes him just like an average legendary champion, unfortunately. Let me know in the comments down below if you are using Skartorsis anywhere. He was pretty good for the Hydra clan boss at the beginning because of the AoE attack and different themes that we were doing, but since then a lot of things changed. So yeah, he's not necessarily the best Hydra champion. If you're still progressing through the game, you could potentially use him without books and throw in a curse set on him. So at least you land the hacks with the AoE attack. You do have the cleanse, you have the buffs, which are really, really helpful. That being said, guys, we have 2 remnants. Nice. Nell. I love you. I love you. Okay, an epic champion. Probably they don't love me back. That's why. Okay, what can I do? What can I do? You don't love me back. That's fine. 350 points, because that's a void one. Now let's see how many points we actually scored into the champion chase with everything that we've done. Ooh, yeah, baby. 1,770. In fact, I do have the options throughout the weekend to most likely go to 2,500. And I will go as high as that. And I will keep an eye on these guys in my leaderboard. And if they're not going too crazy, I might just give them a cheeky snipe, right? I might burn my ancient shards just to get that 5-star soul. I will quickly talk about the soul in a little bit just to explain you something, guys. But first, let me just get my other epic champion that I have from the fragments. So I will need to do 4 more events, basically. I think we have an arena, a summon rush, the spider, the fire knight, a champ training, and a gear artifact thingy, right? So I could gain 50 additional fragments, which I do not need, to be honest. Now, for whoever is wondering about the fusion champion, because I haven't made a video on him, right? And I haven't really discussed about the champion. Attacks an enemy twice, has a chance to put a leech, and a heal reduction. Increased speed, continuous heal on all allies on a 3-turn cooldown, really nice. And AoE attack decreases the turn meter and has a chance to stun 75% on a 3-turn cooldown. He's very good for faction wars, okay? So if by any chance you need a good crowd control for faction wars, he's actually not bad for it. Now, he's not OP or anything like that, but he is a pretty good epic. And considering that the Skinwalker faction doesn't look the best, I think a lot of people could use him. Now, I would not trade him for Titus by any means, but if you do not have the resources to get the entire fusion done, I would strongly recommend you to get him. If we're gonna quickly talk about Titus, the soul, and why the soul is important. Probably you've seen tons of videos from tons of different creators doing billions and billions and billions of damage versus Chimera, versus Hydra. And you've been seeing Titus hitting for like freaking tens or maybe even hundreds of millions per hit. And a lot of you guys think, well, that's all because he can do damage based off the shield value. So a while ago, Plarium nerfed the amount of shield you can grow. The shield is capped at 1 million. Which means that in order for Titus to do such crazy damage, he needs other tricks, other weapons, things that enhance his actual damage slash multipliers like it would do to any other damage dealer that you have in the game. So you can ignore about the shield part for a moment, okay? If you want Titus to do crazy damage, let's start with the followings. You need a books to up the multipliers. You need a masteries like on any other nuker to boost his damage. Unlike Corpulent Cadaver, which was just dealing damage purely from the shield, they are a completely different story. They do not work the same. Once you're done with those two things, you will need gear that ignores defense, preferably. Once you're done with that, you need your Great Hall to be up and running with ignore defense in the Hydra, the crit damage, every single stat, including the defense, because his multipliers are based off defense and the HP. Then once you're done with that, you need a relic. If you have a good relic, a Cat's Gaze or something else, you're good. But next to it, you will need mythical gemstones to boost your damage even more. Or if not mythical gemstones, some of the best gemstones and the rarest gemstones in the entire game to enhance his damage even more. Once you're done with the relic part, the next thing is getting his blessing. You need that 6-star crushing run for Chimera. If not, he's not really gonna do much. For the Hydra, if you have your Great Hallmax, you have the Cat's Gaze, you have a Merciless set, you have Helm Smasher, you are ignoring 100% of the target's defense, so Crushing Rand won't be as relevant. It will still help every now and then, but it won't be as important. So, if you remove all of those things, and you let Titus just do damage based off the shield value, he's going to do not almost nothing, he's still going to do something, but he's not going to do anything similar with what you're seeing in videos, okay? That's why his soul is so freaking important. I've seen a lot of comments saying, no, you don't even need the soul for this champion. He doesn't need it. He's still gonna do crazy things. He's not going to do crazy things, okay? And you're going to see this once you build him and you're trying him out. As I've mentioned, he works more or less as any other damage dealer in the game. Let's take, for example, Toshiro. If I want my Toshiro to do crazy damage, I need to have a Merciless set on him. I need to have books. I need to have masteries and the right masteries. I need to have Heart of Glory because we are on full HP, more damage. I need to have Single Out. Then I need to have Bring It Down as well. I need to have a Methodical for the basic skill. And I need to have Helm Smasher, right? That's how Titus works as well. Then I need to bring in a relic. So regardless if you are bringing in the Cat's Gaze or you might have something else, but the Cat's Gaze is definitely going to be the one that works the best. Well, you need it on Titus as well. On top of it, you actually need much better gemstones than what I have on mine right here. I have the... Let me just make myself invisible for a second. This is not going to do nothing in the versus those bosses. This will just help me to ignore additional defense. And this, once again, is going to be irrelevant. Now, the best gemstones, of course, will be Boss Slayer, which is a mythical gemstone. You can get one of them from Faction Wars Hard Mode. Then we are looking at different gemstones that could potentially boost a bit the damage. But if we're going with a Cat's Gaze, we only have room for one Boss Slayer. Then we are looking at triangular gemstones. So we have Constant Onslaught. This is not going to be helpful in those versus those bosses. This is not going to be helpful. So we're really looking at something that can increase our crit damage or something else. He does need crit damage as well in order to pop bigger numbers. He does need a crit rate in order to pop bigger numbers. So he works very, very, very different compared to Corporal and Cadaver. You need that 6-star crushing rand as well. It's literally the exact same story, but on top of it, he has additional multipliers that multiply with the shield value, okay? That's it for the video, guys. Hopefully, you are going to get a fusion done because it's definitely one of those fusions that you do not want to miss. He is pretty damn god tier in most of the content. And yeah, Plarium usually does one fusion like this per year. Last year we had Nut, if I remember it correctly, or maybe it was the previous year. They're not doing it very often, either way. So that was all for the video. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.